democracy is obviously a lie and evil and not even a real thing. And if it was a real thing, everybody would hate it. It's not even really a question. Democracy is bad, and the Founding Fathers knew that's why they made us a republic and not a democracy.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Can everybody hear me even in the back? Okay. We have 30 people scheduled today, and y'all are the ones that showed up, so I'm kind of happy y'all are here, but I wish the other 30 were here, but what it'll mean for us is it'll go quicker, I think. My name is Cass Calloway. I serve as presiding judge here in Quitman, and all of you are here today for criminal cases that are related to a Class C misdemeanor charge. And some of you are here because you previously came to the court window and worked with Anna, or you came to court and we set something up and you haven't complied with the court's order, and you're here today to come up with solutions to get you back on the right track. It's called show cause. And I think there's 3 or 4 of you all that are scheduled for that. The rest of you are here as a first appearance. And what that means is that you received a citation and you're here to learn about your options and what to do with them and to pick an option. And so I want to go over the basics of that today. All of you, as accused of a crime, have a right to go to trial and to contest your case. You can plead not guilty. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. So if you plead not guilty today, the court will schedule you for a trial appearance. You'll come back and there will be a full contesting on the issue of whether you committed the offense or not. Now, with the trial, you would get to present your own evidence, bring your own witnesses. The prosecuting attorney would bring their witnesses and their evidence, and there would be a hearing of all of that evidence. Sometimes at trial, there's also additional evidence. Sometimes at a trial, there's additional evidence that's put forth, which are videos. Sometimes a police officer will have body-worn camera video from their body-worn camera. Sometimes there's also patrol camera video. Sometimes there's photos, accident reports, things like that. All of that would be put forth at the trial. Now, at the conclusion of that trial, there would be a finding made of whether you're guilty or not guilty. Now, if you are found not guilty at trial, you do not pay any fines, you don't pay any court costs, and your case gets dismissed, meaning it does not go on your record. Most people think of that as the best case scenario, right? The second option is that if you are found guilty, it does become a conviction and the case does go on your record. And it's not something at that point you'd be able to get off of your record. It becomes an immediate conviction. So at trial, again, it's based off the facts, the evidence, and there would be a finding made at the conclusion. Now, if you decide today, Judge, I don't want to go forward to trial, I don't want to contest my case, you have other options. One is called deferred disposition, commonly known as probation. And with deferred disposition, it's ordered that you enter a plea of no contest or guilty. You can choose either one, no contest or guilty. And with that, you are giving up your constitutional right to go to trial and contest your case. And you're saying to the court, I committed the offense and I want to do something to keep the offense off of my record, okay? Now with deferred, what's ordered is that you not get any new offenses here in the city during the deferred. So for instance, if I set you up on a 90-day deferred, for 90 days, you must not get any new citations, no arrests, no criminal activity, and then that is a requirement. The second thing that happens is you have to pay your fine and court costs. Now with deferred disposition, you can pay your fine and court costs today if you are able to do so. If you're not, and you say, Judge Calloway, I need 30 days to pay those, or I need 60 days to pay those, the court will make your deferred longer to accommodate that and will give you time to get that money paid. Now, if you're in a situation where you say, Judge, even if you gave me a long time to pay, I cannot pay this. I'm a college student or I'm on a fixed income. I don't have the ability, Judge, to pay this fine and court costs. The court can also convert the money you owe to community service hours, and you would do community service, bring back that proof to the court, and then that satisfies that part of the deferred. Now with deferred, if you do everything that you're supposed to, at the conclusion, your case gets dismissed. And with that dismissal, it does not go on your record, and it does not affect your insurance rates if it's a traffic offense. It doesn't affect your criminal record history if it's a penal code violation. So with deferred, it's a path to get dismissal and for it not to go on your record. Now, the final option that's available, if you don't want to do deferred or say you're not eligible for deferred for some reason, or you don't want to go to trial, is you can enter a plea of no contest or guilty and simply just pay the fine and court costs. However, thank you, sir. However, if you do that, it creates an immediate conviction, and that case would go on your record immediately. Now, when I reference and I tell everybody something goes on your record, what that means is that if you result a case and just pay it and have it go on your record, or you fail deferred, or you're found guilty at trial, that could lead to negative consequences if it's a moving violation with your driver's license. And your driver's license could be suspended. It could create issues with your insurance rates going up because they see you as a dangerous driver, a risky driver. And strangely, but now because of computers and data everywhere, your driving record can affect employment. If you're working for, say, a school district and they are part of your job is you have to drive a vehicle, a van for the school, and they have you on an insurance policy. If you have a bad driving record, that can sometimes mean that they can't hire you and they can't bring you on. And if it's a criminal violation like assault or theft or criminal mischief, any kind of assault of offenses or disorderly conduct, etc., it could affect your ability to get a lease if you're trying to get an apartment, trying to get employment, things like that. So with deferred and with going to trial and being found not guilty, you avoid all of those negative consequences. Now, a couple rules of my court. When you come up to this podium, I see it as my duty, right, that you understand everything, okay? I've been in municipal court for 20 years. Y'all have been here for 5 minutes, right? And so I know and I understand and comprehend. I'll tell you that a few years ago, I went through my first time of ever having to have a surgery. And I had so many humans come into the hospital room and the emergency room telling me all this stuff that was about to happen to me. And I literally didn't understand every third word they were saying, just the basic vocabulary that the medical professionals were using. It's the same thing with court. So when you're up here, there are no questions that I would deem as not being a good question. If you have questions, please do ask. This is literally the time to do so. and I will do my very best to explain those options to you, okay? If it's not your turn yet and you're just listening, please do listen, because there's a lot of stuff you can learn before it's your turn. I'll also say too, when you're up here, be incredibly honest with me about what you can and cannot do, right? If we set up a deferred, I want you to be successful on the deferred, right? If you say, well, Judge, I'll pay that in 10 days. Well, if you can't do that, then don't say that, right? Because then that sets you up for a failure. You're going to come back and have to be here for show cause. So just be honest with me. We'll have a frank discussion. And then when you leave here today, I want to make sure that you got a fair rate, but I also want to make sure that you understand what you're required to do going from today. Okay? Yes, sir. We already have a question. This is a victory.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I'm in the right court.
What do you mean?
Court.
What kind of court? What do you mean? What did you do?
I have a ticket that I'm disputing.
Okay, victory. You're in the right place.
Okay.
Did you get it in Quitman?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't get it in Tyler or something like that. Okay, victory. You're in the right place. All right. Any other questions? All right. We've had that happen before. People showed up further. Yeah. All right. We're going to get started. As you have signed in, I'm going to call you up. It looks like everybody has done a terrific job today of putting their email address and their information on here. Our court does do a lot of emailing, paperwork, and otherwise. When you leave after speaking with me, you'll just go right back out that door, walk out to the front, and Anna, who is our court administrator, she's our boss, as we call her, please see her at the window, and she'll be able to get paperwork to you. She's also a good resource if you have questions. If you say, hey, Judge just told me I need to do this, how do I do that? She can tell you how to make payments, how to get classes to us, those kind of things. And she'll do a good job of making that happen. All right. First up, we have last name, I think it's Gilberry. Is it Helen? How are you? You get the honor of being first. Have you been to court before, or is this your first time here?
Here, this one is.
Okay, awesome. Here, I found it. All right. I see that you have a citation for failing to maintain financial responsibility, it looks like. One thing that's additional on fail to maintain financial responsibility is if you had insurance on the day and the time of driving, Texas law says that if you had the insurance, then you can submit that to the court. Anna would then call to the insurance company and she'd say, was this person covered on this day and time of driving? State law says if they say yes, then we dismiss that case and does not go on your record. So if you have that insurance proof, it's called compliance dismissal. You could submit that to Anna and that case can be taken care of. If you don't have the ability, or say you got the insurance at a later date, or you're now in compliance, but you didn't have it at the time, then you have all the other options of going to trial, doing the deferred, or having it go on your record. So any questions about those options?
No, she just told me to bring in this stuff, seeing that I have proof of, I got all this stuff done.
When you say all of this stuff, what do you mean?
My registration, my insurance. I'm from Arizona, so I moved straight here, and I had no way of getting me registered because I had to go through getting a bond title and everything. And it took me a long time.
Well, unfortunately, I apologize for cutting off, but I'm only seeing one charge that's with the court. It's a no insurance charge. You're saying you may have other charges too?
I thought it was for no registration too.
Well, there's one here. You have a citation here. It looks like the officer wrote for no driver's license, but it looked like you submitted proof of that, and that was dismissed as compliance dismissal. But the insurance was the one that you're here for today. I don't see a charge unless, did you get stuck?
I went in and I was able to show her, I did this, my registration card, I forgot.
Yeah, what the court records that I'm seeing, it's just the one case and it's for no insurance.
Okay, then.
And it looks like the offense date was January the 21st at 11:30 in the morning. If you had auto insurance covering you on that day and time, it looks like it was for a RAV Toyota.
Yes.
If you had insurance at that day and time and you just didn't have the card to show the officer, you can submit that proof to the court and we can call the insurance and verify.
Okay, I had it at the time. I didn't get it until 2.
Okay. Then the next option is to either go to trial, contest it, do deferred, or have it go on your record. Which of those options would you like to do?
The deferred that's what I pay up on, right?
That's correct. And the deferred, it requires that you not get any new citations while you're on deferred.
Okay, is there a way I can try to, the community service?
Yes. Are you currently not working?
I am working, but I'm not working, but I get Social Security, and I'm trying to save the money up to get into an apartment, because right now I'm in a domestic violence room.
I got you. All right. Then I'll grant the deferred. Okay. The finding court costs on that originally were $281. So what I'm going to have you do is a total of 12 hours of community service. Okay.
Okay. Is also there's a way that I can do it in Ben Wheeler or near Ben Wheeler, because that's the domestic home I'm staying in right now. The domestic violence home.
You don't need to disclose the location.
Oh.
With the community service, the court's policy is that you can do the community service at any location as long as it's a nonprofit agency. Okay. That includes church and includes schools, but anything that's doing something good, community service for the community that they're not making money off of. Okay. And you can do it at any location. We always prefer that you do it here, but if you're not from here or not around here, then we understand that and we do allow it in other places. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Question for you. How long do you think you would need to complete that 12 hours? I can give 30 days or 60 days. What works best?
Would you do 60 days?
Okay. All right. All right. Your deferred then will be for 90 days. So from today's date for 90 days, you must not receive any new citations here in the city. Okay. Within that 60 days, get that 12 hours community service back to the court. And then that'll create dismissal of this charge. And this is a type of charge too that you don't want it on your record because it does lead to suspension of your driver's license.
Okay.
All right. Any questions for the court? All right. I'll send you to the window. If you'll be kind to give this to Anna, and she'll get you all squared away. Thanks for being here. Next up, we have Eric Ortega. Eric, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
Good, good. We have lots of Erics on the back. Here we go. All right. You have a citation. Looks like the ordinance violation. One of them is for not having a vaccination on an animal. The other one is for an animal not being within its enclosure or on a leash. It's called running at large. Those two cases are city ordinance violations, and you have the option of doing the trial, pleading not guilty, and taking it to trial. You have that deferred option, and then you have the option of it simply going on your record. Any questions on those options?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't home when this happened. So, and my dogs got out because there was another.
Okay, let me explain something to you. Yeah, what I want to explain to you is I cannot today, right here, any facts or evidence of your case.
So I guess we got.
I actually don't know anything about it, right? And since I'm the judge, and we only have one judge here, I'm the guy. If we go to trial, and we do have a trial, I have to go into that trial not knowing anything about it, right?
Okay.
Like I don't talk to the police officers, I don't talk to you guys. I go into it, and so I can be fair and unbiased. So I can't hear any of the facts.
I guess I can go to trial then.
Okay. Now with trial, you have an option of two types. Okay. One, you have a constitutionally protected right to. It's called jury trial, and it's where 6 citizens from Quitman would come forward, and those 6 citizens would hear all the facts and hear all the evidence, and those 6 citizens would decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. Okay, it's a jury trial. The other type of trial is called trial before the court, TBC, and that's where I would hear all the facts, all the evidence. And
No, that's fine.
Okay, it's not a waste of folks' time. I preside over jury trials all the time. All right. Now, with that, you also have a right, and I'm required to tell you, is by law, you have a right to an attorney. Okay. If you go to trial in a case like this, a criminal case, you do have a right to seek counsel and have them represent you.
Yes, sir.
In our court, a lot of folks go to trial without an attorney, but it is something that if you want one, I want to make sure you know you can do that. Okay. All right. Any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. We'll send you to the window. What Anna's going to do is get you set for your bench trial. Okay. Thank you. All right. Misty Ballard. No. Holding. You've changed. There we go. I was reading your email. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How are you?
I'm all right.
I found you. I feel good today. I went out to have lunch, guys, and they took me to a place called the Red Dome.
It's good.
Yeah, they got good food.
Have you ever?
I ate too
never
much
been?
brisket. I may need a nap here in a little bit. All right. Looks like you have just one case here. It's for failed to maintain financial responsibility, no insurance. This is from March 7th of this year at 10:22. You heard me say to the previous defendant, but you have the option of showing proof if you didn't have it with you, and that can create a dismissal by state law. The other option is to go to trial and contest it and go to a full hearing, or you can do the deferred or have it go on your record. Previously, you filed with the court a plea of not guilty, wanting a trial. So, any questions on your options?
I've just got one question. When the officer came to my window, he told me that I got pulled over because of the registration to a non-licensed driver. Can they do that?
I don't know the facts of your case, and I wasn't there, so I do not know. I can't tell you what was there. Like if I had a video and I could go back and make a review, I can make a legal determination. But right now, that's not before me. If that makes sense.
Yes. I'll do the deferred
Okay.
and community service.
Okay. Are you currently not working at this time?
I'm on a very fixed income.
Gotcha. Okay.
My fiance back there does dialysis 3 days a week,
Okay.
so income's kind of tight.
All right. And then with that, I'll order the 12 hours of community service. What length of time would you need?
60 days.
60. Okay. The deferred will be for 90 days, and you'll have 60 days to do that.
The
Okay.
community service.
Mhm.
And I live in Yanis, so can I do it in Yanis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any questions for the court?
No, sir.
All right. Don't get new citations for 90 days.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Get that community service back to Anna, and then you'll be done and dismissed.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go with Patricia, and there's a last name. Looks like an M, and then an N. What's your last name, ma'am?
Manley.
Oh, here we go. That's what that is. All right. Usually I can sneak over and look at the email, but your email is just a bunch of numbers and letters. How are you today? All right, let's see. You have an allegation of failing to stop or remain stopped for a school bus, and then another charge for having an unrestrained child less than the age of 8 or less than 4 feet 9 inches. With those two charges, you have the ability, as I said before, to plead not guilty if you want to contest one or both of them. You also have the opportunity to do deferred disposition to keep them off of your record. That's another option. Or alternatively, you could just plead guilty on pay the fines and have them become convictions. Any questions on those options?
What's deferred?
Deferred disposition is where you plead no contest or guilty, and then it would be ordered while you're on deferred that you not get any new violations here in the city. Okay, no new citations or arrests. Okay, you don't appear to be an arrest type, so no new citations, right? Now, with that,
Even when I was young.
not even when you were young. Good for you. Now, the other option with that is the requirement is that you pay those fine and court costs, or if you do not have the ability to do community service, and then at the conclusion, your case would be dismissed with deferred if you're successful with those two things.
I guess I'll do the deferred.
Okay. Now, the fine and court costs.
Can I talk to somebody over here?
I'm sorry.
Can I talk to the prosecuting attorney?
Our prosecutor is not here today. If you want an opportunity to speak with her, we can get you scheduled for another court date when she is here. I'm glad to do that if you want to do that. You want to do that? Okay. All right. Then what we'll do today is I'll put you on a plea of not guilty. Okay. With the plea of not guilty, we'll get you scheduled to meet with her and she can speak with you about the case. All right.
Okay.
Now, if the case after you speak with her goes to trial, which type of trial would you like to have? A trial by the court or a trial by jury?
I don't know what the difference is. I'm gonna say
Okay.
court.
Okay. You have two options. One is trial by jury, and it's 6 people from the city, and those 6 people would hear all the facts and evidence of your case, and they would make a determination of whether you're guilty or not guilty.
Okay.
The other type of trial is a trial before me, the judge, and I would hear all the facts and evidence of the case, and I would make a determination.
I would rather have you.
Okay. And also want to make sure you understand you do have a right to an attorney. Okay. All right. There's a gentleman behind you that's been raising his hand.
That's my husband.
I think he wants to.
Yeah, he wants to come up here.
Well, if you want to go back and speak with him before I finalize this, you're welcome to do so. You don't have to, ma'am, but if you want to.
Is it okay if I approach the?
Well, he said for me to come back there.
Yeah. If you guys want to talk, and I'll call you back up. All right. Next up, we have Eric Sneed. Mr. Sneed, guess what? You're in the right place. This is a victory. All right. Mr. Sneed, you have citing, it's a citation for an allegation on March 25th of disregarding a stop sign. I see you're a commercial driver's license holder. As a CDL in Texas, you are limited in terms of your options. And when I was going over deferred as an option, that actually is not an option for you under federal law. And so your options are to go to trial and contest it, or just have it become a conviction. Any questions on that? All right. Which would you like? Okay. Which type of trial would you like to have? I'm sorry. Okay. And you understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the court? All right. When you meet with Anna out there, make sure you give her some contact information. We got your email. I said make sure that when you meet with Anna, that you give her good contact information so she can get you that court date.
All right.
And Mr. Sneed, thank you for being here.
All right.
All right, Ms. Manley.
Sure.
That's fine.
Okay.
You want to still proceed as we discussed, or you want to do something different?
Yeah, I still want to talk to the district attorney.
Okay. Her name is Sarah, and she'll be here at the next court date, and we'll get you set for that, okay? All right, thank you for being here. If you'll go to meet Anna, she'll get you squared away. All right, next up, we have Cassie White. Cassie, how are you?
Good.
My first name is Cass, so we're already on good terms, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you got going on. All right, you have an allegation of driving the wrong way on a one-way roadway. Do you understand what you're accused of?
Yes.
All right, you heard those options earlier. Options on the options.
No, I do think there's an error on the ticket though. I don't know how to address that.
Okay. If you believe that something is legally insufficient, you would enter a plea of not guilty and assert those legal insufficiencies at trial.
Okay.
That's something that's when it gets reviewed for that purpose. I will tell you that the citation is a notice document in Texas, okay? What that means is it's supposed to do just a couple things. One thing is it's supposed to give you notice that you must appear here, which I'm sure that has on there. The second thing it has to do is it has to give you notice as to what you're accused of so that you can prepare your defense. Everything else on that document is not something that the state would have to prove. And that document is only defective if it fails to accomplish those notice provisions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Many times there's a myth that, well, the date was wrong or this was wrong. That is not the charging instrument. Another document gets created in our court. It's called a complaint. And it is what the words on it are very crucial. And it is what the prosecutor must prove to the court to be able to find you guilty. Okay? That document is written by the prosecutor before trial. And it's sworn to by the officer typically, or the court. So the citation itself is only defective if it fails to give you notice of what you are charged with, and if it fails to tell you that you need to appear. Okay, that makes sense?
Yeah.
All right. So with that knowledge, you want to plead not guilty, do the deferred, or have it go on your way?
Not guilty.
Okay. Which type of trial would you like to have?
Trial before you is fine.
Okay. And you understand you have right to a counsel attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions for the court? All right. We will get that set then for trial. And if you do hire an attorney prior to that date, just let them know to be here at that time. Okay. Not required you have an attorney, but it is available. Okay. Thank you so much. David Ritz. David Ritz. Mr. Ritz, how are you doing? Good, good. Here you are. Here. That's right. That's right. You corrected me, and you are correct. All right, so way here in the back. Okay. Okay, I see two offenses. These are a citation was issued on March the 29th of this year, and the allegations are city ordinance violations for having a junked or abandoned vehicle on property. And there's two separate charges for that. With that, you have the options I described before, pleading not guilty if you believe you did not commit the offense. You have the deferred option to keep them off your record, or you can plead guilty and no contest and just pay. Which would you like to do?
I'm kind of lost the charge itself because the vehicles were just not licensed or registered, but yet they were on the road. They did run.
Okay.
They just didn't have a
I'm
patent.
going to kind of stop you again. As I told the previous defendant, I'm not allowed to do two things. I can't give you legal advice. I can't say whether your case is a good case to go to trial or not, right? That's what facts would help with, right? I also can't hear them in the first place because I'm supposed to be unbiased at trial. Even though I just turned 49 and I forget things, I will typically remember people, and it's good when I go to trial to be completely clean, meaning I don't know anything about the case, so that then I can consider the case just based off of the evidence that gets presented at trial. It's a method of being ethical, and it's a method of making sure everyone gets a fair trial.
Okay. I would like to set up a time to talk to the prosecuting attorney.
Okay, we'll get that done. Now, from that conversation, if something happens, great. If not, and it goes to trial, which type of trial would you like to have?
I guess by jury.
Jury? Okay. And you understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. Now, any questions for the court, sir?
No.
All right. Have you connected with the code officer of the city?
No.
Okay. When you talk to Anna, ask her for an email and phone number for the code officer or police officer that wrote the code citation. And sometimes it's a good idea to connect with that person before that court date.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, communication is key on those cases. All right. You're welcome. Christy Howard. How are you? Good. Are you here for show cause?
No, sir, it's
What-
a citation for.
Maybe your name might be under something else, possibly.
Lagarbo.
It's under what?
Lagarbo,
Oh.
L-O-G-A-R-B-O.
Oh, there we go. That's different. Okay.
It's my main name.
Okay. You have a city ordinance violation for having junk and refuse on your property. With that, you have those options I discussed before. Any questions on those?
Yes, we got troubles.
Okay. Which type of trial would you like to have?
Trouble judge.
Okay.
I can also talk to the prosecutor as well, please.
Yes. She is not here today, but when we have our trial date, she's required to be here on that day.
Okay.
And before we ever go to trial in cases, we do give people that opportunity.
Okay.
To meet with her, and she'll sit down and chat with you. Okay.
Perfect.
It's a code violation case, and I was just telling the gentleman before you, but have you connected with the person that wrote the citation, the code officer?
Not yet.
Okay. It's sometimes a good idea to have communication with them before your trial date.
Okay.
Sometimes there can be other outcomes based off of compliance and things like that.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Brian Miller. Brian, how are you? When you're a judge and you serve, you see people that are waiting. I always try to think of what they did, right? Like what it was. And I came up with something new. I'm going to see if I was right or wrong. Nope, wrong.
Is that good or bad?
You did something worse. No, just kidding. Let's see here. It's an allegation of failing to stop or remain stopped for a school bus. Do you understand what you're accused of?
Mhm.
All right. Now, with that, you have those options I discussed before, of pleading not guilty, doing the deferred, or having it on your record.
Not guilty.
Okay. Now, with that, which type of trial would you like to have?
Trial by judges.
Okay. And you understand you have a right to an attorney? Okay. All right. Now, you may have noticed that the fines on this case are super high. That's the Texas legislature. Several years ago on this offense and two other ones, they went way high on them. They just made the minimum. So I, as a judge, literally can't lower those fines. Isn't that crazy? They made it a minimum. So that's why it's steep. It's also passing an emergency vehicle. They made it $1,250. Like, that just seems like a lot, but this one's big too. So just know that our court did not set that fine that high. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
I didn't do that.
I didn't either, but.
All right. Now with this, we'll get you scheduled for that court date. Any other questions? All right. Have a great day. All right. Next up, we have Dolly Parton's nemesis, Jolene Wallace. Come on up. Why are you trying to steal Dolly's man? You're probably tired of it.
She was gonna do that.
You're way back here in the back of Wallace. Okay, let's see what you got going on. All right, two things going on. It looks like an allegation of expired motor vehicle registration, and then an allegation of fail to maintain financial responsibility, which is no insurance. You probably heard me say this earlier, but on both of these cases, you have a compliance dismissal option. Your citation was issued on March the 16th. And with that, if you in fact had insurance on that day and time of driving, you can submit that to the court. The court staff would call the insurance company and verify that insurance. If it does verify, state law requires that case be dismissed.